If you run Facebook ads for your coaching, consulting, or expert service business, one thing that can make you feel like poking your eyes out is waking up to an email from Meta stating they've restricted your ad account, or even worse, your entire business account. This happened to me recently, so watch this video till the end to learn why Meta does it and the exact steps I took to successfully resume advertising on Facebook and Instagram. If you're new here, my name is Mit Kazakov, and over the past 8 years, I've worked one-on-one with over 3 dozens of 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. I've personally managed over $4.5 million in ad spend, generating over $24 million in tracked ROI and who knows how much untracked revenue, all before launching scientific scaling systems where we help coaches, consultants, and expert service businesses scale their companies. If you own an expert service business of some type, one common obstacle you may encounter is getting your Meta ad account or business account restricted. But why does this happen? The truth is, Meta may restrict your account for a myriad of reasons, and what's more frustrating is they often won't state the exact one. Some of these reasons include violation of advertising policies. This can happen if your ads contain misleading content, promote prohibited products or services, or use inappropriate ad creatives. Meta will usually disapprove your ads a few times, and if that persists, they'll restrict your entire account. To avoid this, there's not much you can do but get acquainted with Meta's ad policy and align your advertising accordingly. The second reason is suspicious payment activity. Having multiple failed payment attempts can raise red flags, and so can using some virtual cards as payment methods, for example, Wise. Payment methods that seem to be associated with fraudulent activity or have high chargeback rates are often scrutinized, so make sure to maintain a clean payment history and use recognized banking solutions, preferably actual banks as opposed to fintech companies. A notable exception to this is PayPal, which works just fine as a payment method on Meta. Another reason is user complaints. If users report your ads or account, Meta might take action. This can happen if your ads are perceived as spammy, irrelevant, or offensive. This doesn't happen often, but it's still good to be cognizant of how your ads are perceived. Another reason is previous or other account issues. If you've had issues on related accounts or in your current one in the past, Meta will give you a lot less leeway. That's why it's important to keep all your accounts in good standing. And the final reason is security concerns. If Meta suspects your account has been compromised or hacked, they might restrict it to protect your business and their users. This can happen even if you haven't actually been hacked. For example, if you log in from different countries within a small period of time. They have gotten better with this, but you should still be careful with this one if you travel a lot. So what do you do if your account gets restricted? First, you need to identify the reason. Sometimes Meta tells you outright, but other times they give you a very generic reason. For example, your advertising violated our terms, in which case you have to ask some questions to figure it out. If you know the reason and it's your fault, rectify the issue and request an appeal. If you believe you're not in the wrong, request an appeal and provide as much information as possible to support your case. If the appeal doesn't resolve the restriction, the next step is to contact support. You can reach them at facebook.com/business-support-home. Choose the asset that's restricted. Regarding the reason you're contacting them, often if you choose restricted account, you won't get the option to open a chat, so you might want to select the option titled something else or other. Then explain your issue in detail. Describe the steps you've already taken and provide evidence supporting your position. Be patient but persistent. Sometimes support will help, other times it might not. You may need to go through this process a few times because some reps are definitely more helpful than others. Now, if you try a couple of times and they just won't lift your restriction, you might just have to open a new ad account or business account. If you can't create a new ad account within your current business account, or if your business account is restricted, what you can try to do is to create a new personal account or use a relatives to create a new business account and ad account within it. Another option is to purchase pre-existing business accounts. There are sellers who deal in business accounts for sale if you need to go that far, but exercise caution and verify the legitimacy of the source. There's also an option to rent an agency ad account. These are third-party businesses that have connections with Meta and Meta reps, so they supposedly don't get restricted as easily and they can rent their account to you for a monthly fee. Now here's what I did when my ad account got restricted recently. Not long ago I launched ads for a new offer of mine. Soon afterwards I got the dreaded message from Meta. My ad account got restricted. I opened chats with Meta's advertising support on 3 separate occasions. Each time I provided detailed information about my payment method, verifying that I was indeed the credit card holder and that everything was legitimate. Despite my efforts, they refused to remove the restriction, claiming it violated their payment terms, whatever that means. They never told me. Now, I use Wise for business banking, and after reading through forums, I learned that Meta just doesn't like virtual credit cards issued by Wise, possibly because some shady individuals abused them in the past, which is frustrating for legitimate business owners like myself using Wise, but I needed to find a way around it. This left me in a rut because I had reached my business account's ad account creation limit as well as my business account creation limit. You can only create 2 business accounts with your personal profile, which I had already done. As you can imagine, this was a significant hurdle for my operations. Luckily, I had a fallback plan. A few years ago, I had foresight enough to open a new Facebook personal account. This turned out to be a lifesaver. I used it to create a new business account, and instead of adding my Wise card, I opted in for PayPal as the payment method. After switching to PayPal, I've been running my ads through that ad account and I haven't had any issues so far. See, the key to dealing with Meta's restrictions is persistence and flexibility. You need to always have a backup plan to ensure continuous operations for your business, and you need to stay informed about Meta's latest policies and updates and adapt your strategies accordingly. Now that you know how to avoid restrictions on Meta and what to do in case you get one, subscribe to the channel and watch this video next to learn the 3 steps to scale to $100,000 months as an expert service business coach or consultant who's already making over $8K a month organically.